Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fig Wally. I'm Priya.
And I'm Sonia.
We actually have a very person on our show today, Shailee Basnet. Sonia is going to tell you a little bit about her.
Yeah, so Shailee is a mountaineer and she's climbed Mount Everest. So she's been at the top of the world.
So hi everyone, namaste. I'm Shailee Basnet from Kathmandu, Nepal. I climb mountains. I also do stand-up comedy and work with young women.
What inspired you to climb Mount Everest?
I grew up in Kathmandu and particularly in my school, there was no sports for girls. So I grew up playing nothing. There was no formal sports I played. So as a kid, I always thought, when I grow up, when I make money, I want to just go out and play because I'm a human being. I have hands, I have body, I have mind, I have legs, and I want to use it. So I had that as my childhood dream. And when I finished my education, I started working as a journalist and I was still craving for that opportunity. So when I found there was an opportunity to climb Mount Everest, I was like, this is my big ticket to being active, just to play and be a child. So that was literally my inspiration to try for Everest.
How long does it take to climb Mount Everest?
If you're an adult and you are fairly healthy, athletic, fit, then I recommend people to train for at least 2 years, preferably more than that, to climb Mount Everest. When I started, we did not have all the wisdom we have today, and still we trained for several months, close to a year. The training started with mountaineering training, but we trained for several months here in Kathmandu, climbing, hiking, running, a lot of different things. So in this picture, you can see one of my teammates actually. This is in the Himalayas. This is not Everest, but Himalayas is a wide range of mountains. So we train in high elevation for 45 days. We start right from how to put on your crampons, how to walk. You have to drink at least 3 to 5 liters of water every single day. So from the most basic stuff, we learn ice climbing, we learn rescue techniques and all of that. So we trained for 45 days on this particular program that was conducted by Nepal Mountaineering Association. And then we returned to Kathmandu and trained for several more months.
How does it feel to be at the top, like at the top of the world?
When you're on the top of Everest, you're literally on the top of the world, and you worked so hard for this. You worked for years and years, and here you've been climbing for months and months, weeks and days. It just has been an endless journey. It's not just that one moment on the summit, right? It's been a long hard work. So when finally you make it here, it's a lot of emotions. It's physically getting there, it's emotionally the result of your hard work, but also at the same time you need great mental strength and mental clarity when you climb Everest or when you pick any big challenge in life, because climbing to the summit is only half the journey. The important job is to come back from that mountain. I was working as a journalist, so I obviously took out the flag of my publishing house, and then I took that proud picture. I looked around and everything from the summit looks below you. The horizon is below you. The sun rises from below you. The cloud blanket is below you. All the other big mountains in the world are below you. Everything is below you. Best part of being on the summit personally for me was that half of my team had already made it to the summit on 2 days before, and when I was on the summit I had a few friends with me, and by the time we finished the mission, out of the 10 women in my team, all 10 of us reached the summit of Everest, and we're the largest and most successful women's team to be on Everest ever.
What would you recommend young children to do in order to gain the skills they need to climb Mount Everest?
I like to say you need to work on your mind, body, soul. That's what you need to do. At this age, you have to keep your body healthy. That's something you need to do all your life. Do not take your body for granted. Work on your body. I highly recommend yoga. I highly recommend breathing exercises. I really recommend meditation. Meditation is what has literally saved me from some of the worst phases of my life. And I had a big accident when I was climbing later in the Andes. And it was a big slope and I was just falling like a snowball. And I tried all my techniques. Like, this is an ice axe, and there's this technique called self-arrest. I tried that, and my fall did not break. I just kept falling. And when I finally stopped, I saw a rock, and I held on to that rock, and then I got up, and I was fine. And even the guides were scared for me. They thought that they had lost me. And to be very honest with you, in that entire fall, I had the frame by frame. I knew exactly what I was doing. I was trying all different techniques. I was not panicking even for 1 second. And as a 10-year-old, I would tell you, learn meditation, learn how to focus. When something goes wrong, learn how to find a solution. Learn the climbing techniques, the rope work, and then go for natural rocks, and then go for slightly high elevation, maybe 2,500, 3,000 meter mountain, and keep increasing that and slowly work towards Everest. The summit of Everest is not a pinnacle. It's not a tower. It's just a gentle slope. Wow, for the highest mountain in the world, Everest is really humble. So I was really, really inspired by it. I thought, wow, the higher, the bigger you are in life, I guess, the more humble you have to be.
Did you ever feel like giving up on Mount Everest?
I did not ever feel like giving up on Everest, because for Everest I had trained so hard, not just the physical technical mountaineering training, but mentally. I was so focused, I was so determined. That's why it's important to have good mental preparation, like what you're going for. And it's also so important to have a good team. I had a great team with me, so at times when I felt low, somebody will make me laugh. If others were feeling low, would crack a joke, would hug each other, would break into a song, and at times you'd see that others are struggling too, and then you're like, oh, okay, it's not just me, everybody is going through the same tough time. Then you tend to normalize it. So having a good team who had the same goal really gave me a lot of inspiration, and that helped us a lot.
So when you were climbing, how did you keep going with all the weight?
So our gear, like our sleeping bag, our jacket, everything needs to be minus 45 degrees. And at minus 45, both the Fahrenheit and Celsius meet. So whatever you think it's minus 45. So all your gear has to be super warm. When you're spending a night inside a tent. So you're insulated from the hostile weather. And when you're outside, you need to keep moving. No matter how good a gear you have, if you are not moving, your heart does not generate heat, and then you have the risk of losing your fingers, frostbite, hypothermia, getting cold, and all of that. So you have to keep moving. And there are times like when there are too many people in front of you, because it's a difficult spot or something has gone wrong, and you have to stand still for a few minutes, maybe sometimes even half an hour. And you have to remember at that time, even when you can't keep going, you have to keep moving your digits, your fingers, your toes, and that's how you keep the heat generated in your body. So that's how you keep safe in the mountains. Yeah. So when we finished climbing, we returned to Nepal, and there was a big earthquake in the country. It was a really, really big disaster. A lot of people died, and a lot of schools were completely destroyed. This is my friend's village, my friend Maya Gurung, but her district was worst hit in this disaster. And this school you see here built this temporary learning center for them. And even today, they still need more stuff. We'd love to give them some laptops or, iPads where they can also have international quality education exposure. We're working towards that, but this is something we've been doing after climbing the 7 summits. And besides this, I've also been leading a program with my friend Maya Gurung. This is a very special program where we train young women and we help them become independent, empowered young women who have jobs, who have careers. They're in their late teens, early 20s, and if we train them, mentor them, they can transform their life. So we start training them with English language, swimming lessons, even fencing lessons, and then high altitude training, confidence building, leadership. And I'm so proud to tell you that the girl you see in this picture, she's a guide in the mountains. So if young women and men like you want to come to Nepal and be in this high elevation, want to go to Everest Base Camp, these young girls who once were survivor of some horrible things that happened in their life, they're now heroes. They are the boss ladies. They can guide you in this elevation and bring you back safely. They earn in dollars without having to leave the country.
Do you have some final thoughts that you'd like to leave all the kids?
Just as young kids, please respect your body. Your body is your temple. With your body healthy and fit and strong, you can go for any goal, any dream you want. So listening to your body, building a healthy body is your first job. It is non-negotiable. And then work on your mind, learn something for your mind, learn how to focus, learn meditation. It's very, very important. They're probably too young to understand, but life is full of unpredictable things. Like, you grow older, there's heartbreak, there are financial issues, there are a lot of different things. The world goes through its crisis. So how do you handle these stresses? Even with friends, you might end up fighting and all. So how do you handle these things? Meditation is super important. I highly, highly recommend it, especially to young people, because they can really learn quickly. It could be any, the last part I want to say is that what you have is a huge privilege. I know it is your parents and teachers' duty, but it is also a privilege. Not all the kids in the world do that. So I really think that it is my job. I'm not just telling this to you. It is my job to share whatever I have. If I have enough rights at home, I have to share it with somebody for whom it's a big deal. So I urge all of you to find ways to help people your age who do not have what you have. It could be just having love of your parents or having a school to go to, online sessions like this, but find a way to give back, maybe in Christmas, maybe in New Year, maybe on your birthday. Please share. And that's only how the world will become a better place. And you can, even as a 9-year-old, even as a 5-year-old, you can make this world a better place. So I really, really urge all of you to do that. I hope you enjoyed this session with me. Thank you.